Melanated family. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? So, just want to update y'all on something I was looking at that I thought was really interesting, right? Because if you have paid attention, we with all the police killings and everything that have taken place recently, like the past 4 or 5 years with George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, like you can name all of them, right? When all of these things begin to happen, different movements begin to pop up. One of the movements was like the defund the police movement, right? Which, like, and this is something that I realized recently, right? Like Black Lives Matter, it can be triggering to people and they can take that and flip it into something else if they want to. You know what I mean? But defund the police, which certain political pundits and people in our society who may not understand certain things or acting like they don't understand certain shit, they may have made that whole thing seem like we're saying to defund the police means to remove money and funds from the police, thus putting them in a position where they can't do their job effectively, right? But that's just rhetoric. That's just rhetoric, excuse me. We know that's not true. We know that's not what we mean or what anyone would mean by defund the police, after it pretty much being a reaction of saying, wait a minute, these police officers are killing people with impunity. Like, that's the people need to do the correlation. Like, we're looking at, we have seen unarmed men, unarmed Black men specifically, being killed by the police with no retribution. Sometimes here and there, someone's getting arrested or getting some years in jail, but not nearly enough. You feel me? And if you look at the history of America and the and melanated people, like our relationship with the police, to me, has always been pretty fractured. Because we look at the incidents of late, but in the 80s and 90s, the police been whooping our ass. I mean, if we want to keep it real, you see what I'm saying? It's just some people speak to the fact of, they look at percentages and say, well, it's only a small number of people that are actually getting killed by the police, Black people specifically, whatever the case may be. And really, one person that's unarmed getting killed by a police officer for no just reason is too much. But really, and I mentioned this a lot, but being physically killed by a police officer is one thing, yes, and that's brutal and that shouldn't happen. But what we experienced more so in our neighborhood was just the harassment, just the constant harassment in how they would treat the young men around my neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? So defunding the police is simply, hey, take some of the money you guys get and put it into other programs that can help. It sounds simple. This is why I'm gonna continue to do what I do to help my people and help everybody and speak truth to power. This is my way of going about doing that. One of the reasons why I've kind of decided to operate how I do now is because, like, in my opinion, family, the political structure in America is bullshit. I try my best to be positive about local politics and wanting to have my voice heard, right? But when we look at, and what I'm getting to here is, we came with defund the police based on everything that was happening. Well, Joe Biden just announced that he wants to give $30 billion to the police to actually fund the police. So hear me, right? This is why I'm so weary of politics, family. I'm always trying to say, okay, if there's a system that's taking place around me that's affecting me, I want to be involved in it as much as possible so I can affect change possibly as much as possible. You see what I'm saying? Like that's always my energy. But when I see shit like this, it makes me feel like I need to continue to focus on us building up us, because if he wants to give, Joe Biden wants to give $30 billion to police forces across America for more police officers, better equipment, like it has always been, or like it's been for a very long time in America. It seems like America seems to take this stance where we want to solve crime by putting more police officers in whatever place that there may be crime. When in actuality, did you guys know that in large numbers, police officers don't really prevent crimes. Did y'all know that? Like, think about that. Think about that. Somebody gets shot. Somebody gets stabbed, like a violent crime, right? We're not talking about getting pulled over. We're not talking about a traffic stop. A violent crime. A cop isn't there before someone gets shot. So you're there in the aftermath. You see what I'm saying? So you're not actually preventing crime. So why would he want to give $30 billion to police forces? You know what I mean? I was looking at it like, damn, this is disheartening, because when he was running for president, he spoke about a police reform and all this other shit. But he did say, like in his State of the Union address, he did say he didn't want to defund police. Like the whole tough on crime narrative is really big in politics. And you got to understand why at this point. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking about it like, damn, what if America, because right now black people are in a position, melanated people are in a position where we're saying, hey, give us our money, like give us our reparations, that to deny that we are owed something based on what's happened to us and based on other races of people who've had things happen to them and they got paid for it. Give us our money. But it's like, people, how are they going to do it? How are they going to give it to you? Is it going to be land? Is it going to be money? How are they going to determine who's black? How are they going to determine who is a slave? Can you be Haitian? Can you be, look, when America wants to give away money, they do the shit. You see what I'm saying? They came up with the COVID money. Now, Joe Biden said he wants to give $30 billion to the police force. Billion, 30. What I was getting at, because I'm always getting sidetracked. What if he gave $30 billion directly to black communities? Like the $30 billion directly to black communities, right? Or how about this? Just $30 billion to just poor fractions of America, homeless people, black communities, that, because they talk about preventing crime. It's almost stupid at this point. If you're an adult, you prevent crime by creating crime prevention mechanisms, right? That's programs, that's jobs. You know what to do. You know what to do. Stop the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm man, look, the presidential election, I voted for Obama, right? Because he was black and I was wooed by the moment. That was some bullshit. My opinion, right? But he's a politician. We're looking at him because he half black, thinking he's gonna do something for us. Shame on us. You see what I'm saying? But the political process in general, I'm weary of the presidential process, because I'm thinking, okay, look, my thing is, in reality, I want to help. I want things to get better. Like, is that what you want? You want things to get better. You can, if you like me, I look at my community and I say, okay, boom, there's specific things in my community I want to see look better, progress in different ways. I want to see the pavement look better. I want to see better businesses. I want to see better jobs for the young people, all these things, right? Well, politicians, for the most part, right, their job is to mislead. Their job is to lie. Every president, damn near, he promises something and then he doesn't follow through on the promise. And what do people tell me? And I had the mayor of Citrus Heights, California on my show, and I'm going to do more of speaking to black politicians, because I want to get in their head and kind of get an understanding of, if you really for us and you fighting in that system, how does that actually go, right? But she was mentioning hold them accountable. And I had to tell her, what does holding someone accountable really fucking mean? What can we do? We give him our vote. He don't do what we want. What does hold him accountable? Well, don't vote for him next time. Nah, come on. That's almost stupid if you think about it, right? That's why presidential elections, I'm like, I ain't fucking with it. I'd rather, because really, I would ask anybody this, right? Just a real conversation between us. Why are you voting for a president? Because tradition? Because you're told to? Because that's what everybody else is doing? You get a day off from work? Like, sometimes we just be going through the fucking motions. How about you sit back and think, why am I actually voting? Let me make a list of the shit I care about, like outside of my family, because I get it. Sometimes we all become a little focused on what's going on around us based on a lot of different circumstances. So I ain't got time to worry about what's going on over there. I get it, but we have to be realistic. because I'm in Sacramento, California. There was just a police shooting. I'm sorry. There was just a shootings of black young men killing each other. There's all these traumatic type of endeavors that take place. And I'm to a point now where I get it. I don't like a lot of this shit the way most people don't, most sensible people, right? I just said, look, it enrages me so much. What can I do? Let's not just go through the motions. America has conditioned us to go through the motions. We celebrate shit that's not real. We spend our money in places that don't fuck with us. It's just extremely superficial, and they push it on us every day. They have been since we was kids. Everything, holidays, religion, but you pick it. You pick the institution. It's been kind of just given to you almost. You see what I'm saying? So I personally reject everything and then come back to it, right? I say, okay, it's a complete lie. Now let me rebuild it. What's true about it? What are the benefits of it, right? We have a lot of, I'm sorry I'm getting off base, but I got to say this shit. We have a lot of people in our community who's Christian. Even though I know the history of a lot of these things, I'm not hard on a black person who's a Christian. If you're praying to a God, or if you're practicing a religion that makes you feel like you're a better person, you're nicer to people, you're more giving, you feel like you're better, cool. But in reality, that was placed upon you too. If you're a Christian, if you were Asian, would you be a Baptist? If you were raised in a different part of the world, what would you be? You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you are the religion you pick, or the circumstances you're in, is just by circumstance. It's based on what you were actually put into. That's not healthy all the time. I tell some of my Christian friends that I've argued with me, I said, hey, how you know you wasn't supposed to be a Muslim? How you know? Have you did like a, you know how you do reviews? You know how before you go to a store, I don't care, I'm gonna say this shit. You know how before you go to a store, or before you go to a particular place, you do a review? Like, what's the opposing views? Like, okay, they got cool hamburgers, but who else got them? Right? I think that's how you should pick shit. That's how you should pick shit. And if you have a selection of things on the table for you to pick, and you don't like any of them, you know what you can do? Don't fuck with none of them. See? If you really want to, in my opinion, I'm not a religious person. I'm not finna go ham on the history of all that shit. I'm not gonna do that to my people tonight. But I think if you're smart and you really want to seek like universal, like get into the universal realm, and know who you are, and get in touch with whatever higher power you're trying to get in touch with, how about you find out which you study Judaism, study to be a Muslim, then get the Christian book, like study all of them, read all of them, like thoroughly read them. Maybe you should be doing that. Maybe your spirit will lead you somewhere else, but we're so equipped to follow when it comes to everything. And that is how we do with politics too. Like when the time comes and everybody be having a sticker, I just voted. I used to be, I always be saying this, but it's true. When I begin to learn certain shit, family, I was hell on everybody. I was pretty rude. I didn't know how to taper back how I felt certain people were being so damn foolish following shit. I'm better at that now. Like if you want information, if you want to talk, we can talk. But I don't ridicule people. But when I see the voting come around and I just voted, I be thinking, for what? Fuck you vote for? Now, here's what I always say. If you vote and then just go back to work and taking care of your kids and not doing anything, because I get taking care of your family is a revolutionary act in the black community. If you're a man and a woman taking care of your kids together, that's a revolutionary act. But you voting to make the world a better place for your kids, right? Like that's your goal, or somewhere around there, right? Well, okay, cool. You want to go vote, you want to put a ballot and walk away, cool. But the question I'm always asking my melanated family, what else are you doing? See, what else are you doing? How else can you help out our movement? Voting. If anybody that's just joining me, Joe Biden just announced he proposed for the 2023 fiscal budget, he wants to give the police $30 billion in funding. $30 billion in funding for the police departments, to get more police, to be tough on crime. What? What? And I'm reading, look, I read articles about, I have to look into some of these things just so I can be well versed and and confirm my suspicions. You know what I mean? Hey, and confirm my suspicions. You know what I mean? So I'm reading articles about Joe Biden and him caring about defunding the police. Now he's funding the police. It's all rhetoric and bullshit. They just lie to each other to get what they want. What is any of this? So, family, I wasn't gonna say this either. Start over. Everybody start over. With everything you think you believe in, everything this country has convinced you to believe in, everything that wasn't an original thought from you, even what your parents told you, everything you've been taught, recontextualize all that shit. Back up and research and see what you really want to do with your life. See what you really want to do with your, like, stop going through the motions. I'm tired. Look, there's so many different things people can do to actually help. You can help the homeless. You can be a mentor. You can go back to your own neighborhood and pick up garbage. You can go back to your old neighborhood and start an organization with some dudes. There's you can put your feet to the ground and help out. Like, when things happen and people seem so outraged, I say, yeah, I understand that emotion too. But how about we all, what would happen if we all helped out? Right? It's 43 million. I'm speaking to black folks specifically at this point. There's 43 million black people in America, right? From poor people, doctors, lawyers, entertainers, the whole gambit. And I'm sure many of you hear this type of talk a lot. What if we united? What if we said, okay, we're going to come under one banner, at least 20 million of us, 10 million of us, like pick the high number, because that'll move everybody else to start following us. But the point is, we following behind what this country has told us. We know about the racism. We know about the institutionalized racism that's still going. We know that prison is big business. That's a part of the reason why he's given $30 billion to police funds, and the police unions help get him voted in. This is just business to them. Like, this is just business. And the niggas been in the and the niggers been the niggers. Like, they're an easy target. We can use them. We can use them come election time for different reasons, get them riled up about racism. They'll come vote for us. Biden talking about, if you ain't black, you ain't vote for me. What are you talking about? You expect me to engage in this kind of shit? Nah, I'd rather read a book. I'd rather talk to my son. I'd rather read some shit about or understand things about our history. I'd rather go deeper into something else. Some of this shit is bullshit. Now, locally, you can vote locally, and local elections at times will affect things that would affect you immediately. That is true. Like, things, the potholes, things immediately around your neighborhood. Be involved in local elections, family. That can help. But the process is similar. You get involved, you get behind somebody, you look at what they stand for, you vote them in, then you hold them accountable. You see what I'm saying? That whole system is pretty weird. So I say, if you don't give a fuck, like how our community turns out, how anything about the world turns out, cool, then don't vote. Then just disconnect from all of it and be like, whatever. But if you actually care, stop being so emotional about things. Somebody get killed by the cops today in 2022, seeing everything we've been through. I see some people, they come off shocked. Oh my God, what's going on? What the fuck you mean, what's going on? They slave catching. They slave catching still. You see what I'm saying? And we don't have no power in this country, so we're powerless people. You can harm powerless people. You can harm power. Do you see? I don't give a fuck. No shots at anybody in the LGBT community. Do you see him getting killed by the cops in large numbers? Do you see, like, just a person that you would see and know is in that community, cop just blowing their brains out? Do we see that? Do we see it with other communities? Communities who have positioned themselves based on their history here, based on their accountability, whatever, have positioned themselves a different way. A little bit of power comes with that. So we can't just harm you because you mean something. You know what I mean? I think we've been so broken that it's hard to kind of get back to where we used to be. I mean, god damn, we got our last names. It's Johnson and Smith and Murray. Who the fuck are these people? Right? At least if you're a Spanish brother or sister, you Asian, right? You come here, different races of people come to this country, immigrants, they come here for a better life, whatever. Do your thing. See? But it's differences, right? Like you are actually leaving a country to get to do something better. Where the fuck can we go? If I said, look, this America shit, they ain't treat me right at all. I'm gonna go to there where it's popping and it's all the opportunities. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of a different plight. And you Mexican, Asian, you come here, your culture is semi-intact, if not all the way intact. That's how I envision it. You're a Spanish brother or sister. I think even though your country may be going through things, to be able to go back to a home country, to have a last name and a heritage that's linked directly, right? Linked directly to where you come from. These are differences. I mean, we've been here. We helped build the country. We gave all the goddamn swag, thousands upon thousands of inventions, and we had to fight for civil rights. Civil rights. Like sometimes people don't listen to that, like how that sounds. Doing so much research on that shit, I'm thinking, wait a minute. You mean civil rights? Just be nice to me rights? You know what I mean? That's all we was asking for. You know what I mean? So I don't mean to go on a tangent, family, but please rethink how you approach trying to help out in this country. If you're just tuning in, I'm talking about the fact that Joe Biden just announced that for the next fiscal year, 2023, he wants to allocate $30 billion towards police. Now, excuse me, it broke it down in police force and how they wanted to use the money. Excuse me, it was all pretty much bullshit. Looking at some statistics I was looking at, family, says that like since George Floyd got killed, for instance, police in America still kill people way more than any other country or any other place in this world. You see what I'm saying? We still killing people at an alarming rate. Not just black people, just people in general. They killing like 3 people a day. You see what I'm saying? And something that I was thinking anyways, but this article kind of confirmed for me. There's a lot of different ways you can handle policing. This is why I know they really don't give a fuck. They really want to eliminate pieces of society. They really want to protect certain neighborhoods. They really certain individuals want to take out their vengeance on a different race of people. It has to be all this shit because they did a report like in Denver. I think one of the police departments in Denver did like a little research study where most of the calls, the 911 calls, they would send like a medical professional and a psychiatrist or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but they wouldn't send a cop with a gun. And violence and the interaction with that person didn't end violent. Like it fared good results. You see what I'm saying? Other countries, police officers don't even have guns. You see what I'm saying? They have a billy club. They have something just to maintain you, not necessarily to kill you. So I always say all these type of videos are made just to make you think. And I'm here to let you know you gotta love your people, man. That's gonna have to be. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what part of the country you're from. I don't care your financial status. None of that shit. You have to, in your heart, at some point, say, okay, I want to learn about my people a little bit, and I want to represent them as best as I can. I want to think about them when it's time for me to do business and create like a conglomerate or something. I'm gonna think about my people. When I'm out and somebody's talking about my people, I'm gonna be able to represent for my people. I'm gonna look at black men killing each other or black men sagging or black men doing shit I don't like, and I'm gonna contextualize it the right way. I'm not gonna say, oh, fuck these little niggas, we need to get them out of here. No. These are crack babies. These are our kids. Stop it. I'm 40. Stop it. I said this in a video a couple of days ago. We can't get of age and forget how we harmed our children. So some of us who had it tough when our kids were younger, now we're doing better in life, better job, and we want to forget about the traumatic childhood we had to put them through because we're doing better now. Nah, you know what I mean? And that's for everybody. So politics, religion, everything that we subscribe to, you should think twice. Like you should do your research. You should get the best understanding possible of how these things can affect your life. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm just a vessel. I realize what we need, family. I realize what we need. And I realize most Black people understand that too. Some of us just got to give a fuck a little bit more. Like we got to look at the fundamentals of it, like the future part of it, the breeding part, like how we have our children, how we mate. And this isn't all of us, never speaking in absolutes. But I look at the lowest realm of our society. Some people may not do that. When I look at, okay, boom, we need help. We need to put ourselves in a better position, blah, blah, blah. We don't have wealth in this country, right? This is a fact, the actual percentage of wealth that we have in America. But I look at, okay, the people who are poor, the people who do the dysfunctional families, the dysfunctional households, the ghetto. These are the people we have to pay close attention to and help out. If you a brother or a sister who had two parents or not, but you doing well financially, you doing what you're supposed to do, you got a woman and y'all taking care of y'all kids, everybody ain't out here fucked up. Like, let's not think any of this means most Black people is in a living squalor. That's not true at all, but too many of us do. So we have to go wherever, whoever needs the most help, that's where our energy should always be channeled to. You feel what I'm saying? So this is your brother Harrison, man. Oh, and something else I want to say. I almost forgot this. I'll be moving too fast. Pull my notes up real quick. Something else. This is why, real quick. Every time I'm having a conversation with someone that is into politics, meaning a lot of times it's just someone who watches CNN and indulges in the media in that way, right? Everything that they speak about is in a political format where it's Democrat or Republican, Democrat or Republican. Family, Black people need to start their own political party. Be independent. We need to start our own shit. People will say, yeah, Harrison, y'all in the situation y'all in because of the fucking Republicans. I'm like, what does it even mean? That's like saying gangs are in the situation they're in because of the Bloods. You know what I mean? All this gang violence and shit. If it wasn't for the Bloods, it wouldn't be. You sound stupid. They're one and the same. You don't think they're friends. You don't think when they debate, when they say cut, they go have dinner. What are we talking about? They're one of the same. They're designed to play us, to make us think like we have a part in what's going on. So you sit back and you don't do shit else because you just voted. You see what I'm saying? Nah, family. Don't get caught up in Republican, Democrat, nothing. Think for yourself and think again. What do you want to see happen? You see? So go vote. Do whatever you feel is necessary, but understand that there's other ways that you can actually help out. You know what I mean? So let me see. Hold on 1 second. And so something else I found was extremely interesting, family, because we see how some interactions with cops, we've seen our brothers die, young brothers, older brothers, right? And when we look at him Joe Biden giving $30 billion for police funding, you would think he would do that based on the fact that crime is raging out of control, right? Like violent crime and people getting really hurt is raging out of control. Well, I read this report here, and this is on, what website is this on? Anyways, I read this report here that basically said fewer than 5% of the arrests, and this is in this country, family, fewer than 5% of the arrests in this country nationally are for seriously violent crimes. So that means we can actually have a person without a gun showing up to some of these situations. You see what I'm saying? So look, family, don't fall for the okie doke. When it comes to when the presidential campaign comes back around, I want you to do me a favor and disconnect from all of it and think about, but before they start running, how about you do this? Think about what you want to see happen. Write down what you want to see happen in your community. Maybe you just care about the homeless. Maybe you care about wildlife. Maybe whatever that thing is you care about, because it should be something just outside of your house. And really, shit, if you Black, you should have a vested interest in us too. But find out what it is you care about, what you want to see change, what you want to see change, boom, and then go right to what can I do to affect that right now? If not, boom, let me look around me. What can I do to affect the people around me? Some of us still live in urban environments where it's a lot of us. If so, there's always some way you can help out. If not, if you've been able to move outside of the urban environment, you have experience in tech, or you got some computer knowledge, or you started a little business, or you've been at your job for 10 years. Now you're mentor material, right? Now you should be the type of brother going in the hood and just talking, just hanging out, just being around there. Everybody has to do something. Like I said, I'm in Sacramento, California. Last Saturday, 6 people were killed. What we're looking at now, based on what has been coming out, it looks like it's gang violence, right? I didn't know at first. When I seen mass shooting, it was a mass shooting this past Saturday downtown in Sacramento, California. 6 people killed, I think 12 injured. When I heard mass shooting, I'm thinking, okay, this is probably a Caucasian man. That's typically what mass shooting means. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. But when I found out it was gang violence and I'm seeing the type of guns they're using, I'm like, okay, so this is getting worse to a degree. And I'm aware of systematic racism and how we were placed in a lot of the situations we're in. But we need to do something. Like while trying to fight racism in any way you feel necessary, we also need to be like, okay, how did I raise my kids? Let me do a deep dive into my actual parenting. Was I running on autopilot? Was I running in struggle mode? Like some, not all, but some Black folks who had to raise their kids and was raised themselves in traumatic ass struggling environments, so they think it's normal. You see what I'm saying? Because when I see a young man killing another Black man, I look at everything, right? So people will be like, "Oh, he a beast. He a monster. He need to be put in jail, whatever." But when he was 5, I'm sure he didn't want to kill nobody. So what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened in the house? What happened in the neighborhood? What happened? What happened? See, this is easy. This is easy. If this country wanted to stop us killing each other, they could. Damn near overnight. Damn near. Hey, those COVID checks, how quick was that process, right? If you look back on it, how fast was that? Oh, COVID, here's money coming in the mail. Well, if you do it this day, you get it this day. Didn't they organize that shit quickly, right? Wasn't it organized? If your birthday's here, you get it here. If you filed your taxes, you get it here. Pretty fucking organized, right? But anything when it comes to simple, help out Black folks, right? Help out us, school system, prison system, like help us out in particular areas. Give us reparations. Indians got reparations. Asians got reparations. Jews got reparations. Why are we even talking to you guys about this? And you lied to us. Where's the accountability? You know what I mean? 40 acres and a mule was a lie. It should be like a holiday. It should be like a I'm sorry holiday, where on one day we get to do whatever the fuck we want to do. We can walk in any store, go anywhere, and just get the shit for free. Y'all lied. Y'all was like, yeah, here's 40 acres and mules. Then homeboy left, and y'all like, we was just fucking with you. No, it's all good though. No, it ain't all good. It ain't all good. Like, you didn't give us the money, and now we're the lowest in everything. Economically, we're the lowest in everything. Yes, accountability needs to take place on our part, but let's be honest, man. Like being redlined, being put in certain environments, being crack cocaine being thrust upon us. Nobody knew what that shit was going to do. Nobody had an idea of where some of these things was going to go. You know what I mean? So it's like a convoluted problem. But my whole mission to you guys, I know it's hella funny shit to watch. I know how content works, right? I do this specifically. The name I chose, all of this is specifically. This is like a certain. You come here to get empowered. You come here to help figure that shit out. Then go laugh, go smoke, go chill, go put the game on. I'm not knocking none of that. But here, we gonna get to the truth of all of this shit. Like the truth. You see? Because if anybody can tell me, like, I'm like, I have a stance on a lot of things and I stand on it. But I always keep an open mind. So if someone can prove to me something different, I'll change my mind on shit. Like, people don't like that at times, but new information comes new perspective. That's how I see it. And man, I have to being in the space that I'm in. But when we look at all the energy that's put behind voting and with in the commercials and the marketing and all of it, it's the same thing. Look at any traditional item, from that to religion to holidays, family. Like, figure out a way to help out. Like, you don't have to be, you can still, like, I celebrate holidays for certain reasons. Like, The young people around me, I like the opportunity to shower them with things. I like the opportunity to commune, because a lot of time Black folks don't get together except for it's the holiday or something like that. But if you're not telling your kids the real meaning behind Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter, you're kind of doing them a disservice. See, because we talking about Joe Biden wanting to give $30 billion to policing. He wants to fund the police and give them $30 billion, right? After we coming up with this defund the police, we getting shot and shit. My whole point of talking about this story is to let you know that you can't really rely on politicians to fix your problems. Like, they lie a lot. And it's weird how they lie, and then 4 years comes around and we act like they don't lie no more, and we listen to them and we listen to them talking. What's actually going on? Like, disconnect from all this shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need to be smarter than that. We're only like 13% of the population, right? So in my opinion, that's why it's so important for us to try to unify in a particular way, because people will tell me, I've had white people tell me, Harrison, bro, dude, white people, we're not unified, bro. Like, we're not unified. We don't like each other. We don't like our families, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you guys may have problems, but your whiteness is like a unifier. There's certain things you've never had to go through. Look, I've been in environments where white people are talking or doing something, and it's the majority of them. And I come up, maybe abruptly, elevate or something. They both treat me the same way. Now, I know they probably didn't know each other. How did they both know to kind of jump on code and say, "Oh, nigger in the elevator"? Do we do that? Think about that. If we chilling, talking, somebody white just walk up, you be like, I've been seeing white people around everywhere my whole life. Just get in there, white lady. We don't do that. So they do have a code. They can dislike doesn't get in the way of business. Let's talk about it. I ain't even getting all this shit, but when I'm going, I'm going. You feel me? Dislike doesn't get in the way of business. See, because of Willie Lynch, because of everything we had to, our brains and how we see each other, it's rival, it's fuck you, it's how can I get over on you? It's all this negative shit based on conditioning. They understand, I'm gonna do a business deal with this asshole. I don't like him. I don't want to talk to him after this deal, but the business got to get handled. You see what I'm saying? The business got to get handled. We got to get down to the business. We don't do that too much in our. I'm new. This is what I've been doing. The Melanated Convo, my organization, Melanated Fathers of America. I'm about 5 years in of chasing something that I wanted to do, opposed to being like most Americans, which ain't no problem with working a regular job. That's what most of us do. I work a regular job, do my best at it, take care of my 5 kids. I found something that I'm passionate about, that I want to do with the rest of my life. You know what I mean? But it's difficult being new to business, not having hella family members I can go to say, hey, help me get this set up. Help me get the business license. Help me do the taxes. Of course, if you looking for something, you're going to find the resources. But we got to be honest about where we come from. Like, we got to be honest about what we don't come from. You see what I'm saying? So I'm dealing in a business world as a new business owner, trying to get shit popping, and the people around me some of them dealing with the same things. They're trying to do business, but it's sketchy. I'm always on some love shit because I'm like, I know where you come from. I know you didn't have a mom and a dad who had hella money. We all learning on the go. Oh, almost forgot this. I keep saying this. I keep forgetting this. This is something I was going to point out a few minutes ago. The importance of all of us learning history. I know it seemed like I'm jumping around, family, but I got a lot of shit on my mind. The importance of all of us learning history, right? I'm a mobile notary. Like, what I do for money in the daytime is I'm a mobile notary amongst other things, right? So I go do a notary for a Romanian family. Romanian father, he has like 4 sons, but it's more Romanian gentlemen walking through like a body shop kind of, right? So I do the notary, do 2 notaries for him, get my money. And this is important. I've had to do this maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. And to me, family, this is important, right? Because a Romanian guy, I'm about to leave. And he says, sir, can I just ask you a question before you go? I don't know what the fuck you're gonna ask me. I'm tired. Like, my house is 12 minutes away. Give me $100. Like, I'm ready to get, you know what I mean? So he says, sir, and he was sincere. I could tell he was sincere. And he basically asked me, the Romanian man, immigrant to America, right? Basically asked me in a sincere tone, we've heard about like Black Lives Matter. Like, what is Black Lives Matter? It's in a sincere tone. He asked that, right? So he didn't know who I was. You feel me? that took the tired right up out of me. And look what I said to him, y'all. Normally, I'm very professional when I go on people's homes and I got to sit in your house and talk to you I'm an extremely professional brother, right? But you coming into my realm now. You coming into my shit. So I asked him, because I'm trying to see if he playing me. You know what I mean? Like you on some old, you know what I mean? So I I said, you serious? And he said, yeah. And his son sat down. And this was beautiful because he didn't know literally why we would say we matter more than somebody else. That's how he took it. And this is a lesson about being on code. There is things about Black society that I don't like, from people to organizations to mannerisms to traditions, right? When I'm speaking to somebody that's not one of us, and we talking about us, I'm on code, because what he hinted to immediately was Black Lives Matter, the organization. See, that's what he was talking about, the phrase, but he meant the organization. Excuse me. And see, we got to be on code, because I know the organization ain't about shit. Not all the individuals, but the leadership and how things happen. That's some shady shit. But in front of people, I'm not gonna say that. So I rerouted him to just simple, because there was a language barrier. There was a couple people there that had to translate for him. You see what I'm saying? So I broke it down to him, family. But I broke it down to him, the history of policing, right? In this country, the history of policing and our relationship with the police. Like, this isn't, you don't have to be emotional. This isn't sometimes I get hot because I love my people, so I can get emotional on my platform or whatever. But in general, just the idea of what happened to us and the reason why we're upset, the reason why things happen, there's no emotion in that. So I explained to him the history of policing. I explained to him he was a Romanian gentleman who lived most of his life here in America in the South area of Sacramento, where I'm from, which is like a hood environment. And he was the language was broken, but he was trying to articulate stereotypes that he learned, because he was trying to articulate basically what he was trying to, why are you niggas so violent? It's what he said it in like 4 different ways, right? So I had to let him know the community you were just telling me about, because I told him I grew up Florin Road, where I grew up at. He told me where he lived. I had to tell him, because he mentioned an area he had to live in when he first got here. It was Black people. It was poor people. Whoa. You know what I mean? I was like, well, sir, that neighborhood was created. Ghettos in America were created. That neighborhood was created for poor Black people. Like, and I finally got what he was trying to say. And I'm like, oh, okay. We're not inherently violent. Do you know people think that? Do you know that's a thing, family? Do you know that's a thing? An actual thing that several racist, all kind of people in this country think we walk in the room, shit get to popping off. How dare them? That's how the psychology of this country is amazing. White people have stolen everything. When I say everything, nigga, I mean everything. Killed in the name of nothing. Savages. In actuality, right? Black man, Black woman, you walking, you see a white man coming down the street, you better be ready to kill him or run. I should be scared of you. But anyways, so I had to explain to him that nobody's inherently violent. Nobody. The environment, your conditions, these things breed violence. They breed dysfunction to a certain degree. This isn't even black or white. And he didn't know. And the reason why I'm telling you this story is because if people see us a certain way, fair-minded people, you racist, you don't like me, I don't like you, we can get down. Like, I don't play with those kind of individuals. But if a person wants to really know about our struggle, and we're only 13, 14% of the population, family. A lot of people in this country have never had an opportunity to comfortably sit down and talk to somebody black. This is a real thing, right? So equip yourself with the knowledge of why we are in the position we're in. Because I've been able to do this in argument form and regular form, where I'm not trying to change people's mind where now they like us and not. Sometimes it's not like that. We have to be honest. There are racists. There's a system of racism that is just structural and it's based on institutions. There are individuals who don't like us because we black and they're violent and they own some KKK type, you know what I mean? They're on some militia type shit. There are those individuals. And then there's some white people in the middle who are just bombarded with stereotypes in never having a regular interaction with somebody black. You see what I'm saying? So they've probably done all kind of shit in the name of being white and dogging those people. You see what I'm saying? But in actuality, is in their heart. You see, everything has a varying effect. Everything ain't just cut and dry. You see what I'm saying? So as a black person, you should be equipped. You should be equipped, because I don't walk around talking about racism, or I don't walk around talking about shit really. But if you come to me, if you come at me, I need to be equipped. I need to protect y'all. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes I've been in environments where white people will say, oh, you're one of the good ones. See, they take articulation for nonviolent somehow. And politicians are the most articulate. Anyways, they take articulation for they get comfortable and they think, ooh, nonviolent, kind of light-skinned. Ooh, you're not like them. Whoa, ain't no like them. We all the same. I don't do that shit. That's a game they like playing. I don't play that game, because you let them play that game on you. Now, 2 weeks later, they're gonna be telling nigger jokes, and they're gonna be expecting your ass to laugh. You see what I'm saying? So be equipped and be proud, man. Like, be proud. Shop with black clothing lines. Like, you like Gucci and Fendi, you like all that shit. Cool. We fashionable. We African. We fucking Moors. I get it. But shop with somebody black sometimes. Buy something out of their store. Wear it. Make it look cool. Talk about it. You know what I mean? Don't value. Wear Gucci. Don't value it like that. You spent your money. Value your money. But it's just clothes. It ain't shit. Some of these people don't even like you. Like, literally don't even like you. So don't hold that to no high esteem. Nah. Find somebody black who's selling something and do that. Like I was saying earlier, what you gonna do? How you gonna help us in this struggle with all these different things going on? You can shop at black businesses. You can, on your social media, while you posting some of your bullshit, you can post, go shop here with my brother. This is a good businessman. He's selling shirts. He's selling soul food plates. He's selling whoop-de-whoop. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a big team, and everybody got to be on board in some way. Whatever your lot in life is, keep that in mind. You know what I mean? You African, like you ran all this shit at one point in time. They your mind can't even fathom that to a degree. Where at one point in time it was just us running everything. And you know the caveat. You know the biggest reason why a lot of people are inherently racist towards us, because they know how they had to have how things were for them in like the Caucasus Mountains, like the survival mentality when we had fruits and gold on the ground. When we ran everything, when the Moors ran everything, they didn't brutalize nobody. We could have just killed everybody. Well, if you bugged, we gave it to you. We wouldn't just walk around killing motherfuckers. We helped. We was like, hey, I don't give a shit. We was like, hey, white man, you can't sleep with your animals. You gotta create a barn for the animals. Here's a barn. You gotta wash your goddamn body. This is, I'm being funny. I like being funny. This is facts. Soap, barns, like the necessities for getting yourself together for grooming all came from the Moors. White people was dying from the flu. They were dying from very simple illnesses because they were living with the animals, eating with the animals. They was just savages. We said, nah, man, let me fix this street. Let me put street lights on your street. You know what I mean? Put this sweater on your back. Yeah, that's mink right there, player. Put this little chain on. Yeah, white man. See, that's like our gift and our curse. Somebody come, think about black people. You come to the door, food, cooking, come on in. That could be a bad thing, people. Telling everybody to come on in and their intent is to dominate and take over could be a bad thing. So this is the yin and yang of our nature. That's why I'm so hell bent on making sure you have a warrior spirit too. Like I say what the fuck I say. I'm never gonna back down from it. You know, y'all don't know how much shit I get from everybody I've ever met really knows exactly how I feel about everything. If people try to contact me, I don't give a shit. I know what I'm talking about is true. I know I'm right. And I'm gonna help people and I'm gonna help y'all. I know black people who do good in life and a lot of other things. And I'll be like, well, that's true, but we need your help. In some way, we need your help. We need you to understand you're a part of a team, and you're a part of a team that's based on love, and a part of a team that has a history of degradation, that has a history of a lack of resource, that has a history of stolenness, right? I say melanated because I don't like black or African American. These are two social constructs. In my opinion, melanin is actually, in my opinion, from what I've read and researched, is the reason why we are the way we are. The reason why other people hate. You know what I mean? But that's something that all of us have to realize. You see what I'm saying? As like a unit, we have to realize how strong we'd be together. This is if, though. This is only if you give a fuck. I'm assuming if you here with me, you give a fuck. There's a balance to life. You can smoke, go to a strip club, and fight for social justice. You know, you can do all those things. You can be whatever you want to be. You can, look, I don't be telling black folks to give up. Well, some of your bullshit you got to give up. But I don't be telling you to change who you are completely. Nah, love your family. I know your immediate family and who's around you is important, but have like a general love for all of us too, right? And that'll change how you view stuff. When I seen Will Smith and Chris Rock, when he slapped Chris Rock, because I report on things, I've learned how to create my balance. Because if you a coon, if I know, or if I assume, or by your actions, I see you don't like black people, you're speaking negatively about us in the public, I would need to talk to you. That's coon behavior. Something got to give. But I don't know you. I've never talked to you. I've never gotten your one-on-one perspective. I seen something you didn't. I seen something you did. I didn't like, Stephen A. Charles Barkley, but I don't know you. So I make sure I approach it from a love conversation. Like, I don't do this shit for clicks and views and to be slanderous, right? Rule of thumb, if everybody on the internet, tell your kids this too. Anything they do on the internet, any interaction with a person, rather, that they have on the internet, my rule is, if I won't say it in your face, I won't say it on the internet. No matter who you are. Motherfuckers on the internet, Will Smith a pussy ass nigga. You a pussy ass nigga for putting you. Well, so what you're telling me is, if you seen Will Smith and he just sat next to you, it was like, that shit was crazy. I did it at the Oscars, right? You finna be like, yeah, you old pussy ass nigga. You're not. So stop posturing for the internet. Like, you don't got to do that. We can speak and give our perspective about something that happened with one of our brothers out of love. I don't have to say Chris Rock was a sucker or Will Smith was a sucker. I don't have to choose a side between these two black men that I don't know, these accomplished black men. Now, I want all black people to do something for our people, like I'm telling y'all to, but I don't, if you're a celebrity, I don't know what you do. See, we get it fucked up because everybody's so loud. You expect everybody to be like, yeah, I'm doing this. Nah, some people move in silence. They won't say Black Lives Matter, George Floyd. They won't say a word. They'll smile, do their movie, and go home. But they putting in work at the house. See how that can happen? You see what I'm saying? So don't look at nobody black and be like, yeah, you need to be just because you got a phone. I get it though. It's alluring. It's addicting. Damn near. All of us gotta kind of realize. But back up, man. Back up. But don't worry. Y'all come to me. I'm gonna give you raw shit about our people, but it's gonna be perspective based and it's gonna be with love. Again, if you a coon and I feel you hurting us, it may be a little harsher, but it's still love. You see what I'm saying? Because the other day, last Saturday, when these 6 people died, I did a video about it and I mentioned, and people, my DMs it'd be positive shit too, but people love saying negative shit. I said that the dudes who killed all them people, shot all them people, those are still our young brothers too, right? Sounds crazy, right? Now, do I want them to be punished for their actions? Yes. Am I in agreement with the prison system helping and all that's kind of fishy, but you can't kill people regardless of how you was raised or what you went through. You can't kill people, but I'm gonna still call you my young brother because who raised you? If we're a village and we're a family, somebody black raised you, right? Somebody black raised you, and black parents, like I was saying the other day, We got to be honest. Some of us are raising killers. Some of us are raising individuals and be pretty fucking violent. And you got to take some accountability for that. Some, I'm not saying all, a lot of factors, right? In people's lives. But sometimes parents, we get older and be like, I did everything I could. I did my best. Have you ever thought about what if your best wasn't good enough? I know that sounds fucked up, but what if it wasn't? See, what if he didn't have love? What if he didn't feel loved? What if he didn't feel like he had a place? What if he felt like he was lacking something? And for whatever reason you couldn't give it to him, the gang gave it to him, including a gun. Now, so whoa, it's deeper than just shoot 'em up, bang, bang. Like I said the other day, anybody who's ever shot a gun before, if you're a gun enthusiast or just somebody who goes to the shooting range, this is all my opinion too, family. It's a very violent act. Like a Glock-sized gun, I'm sure something bigger is even worse. It's a very violent act. So in my opinion, like my mind, how my mind works, I'm square. Like I kill for my family, but because a nigga rolled through my block, I can't even fathom this kind of shit, right? So for a young man who can shoot a gun at somebody based on respect, based on pride, based on all of these things that if used in the right context can be helpful, but in this context is absolutely destructive. Why would he do that? You think he wants to do that? You think that's just we have to look how tragic that interaction is, because if you shoot somebody and you kill him, yeah, you kill him, his family mourns, he's not there to live a full life. A lot of people are affected, but you're affected too. You ever thought about that? Think about that. Somebody never killed somebody, looked at somebody and shot them. You think they just went home and went to sleep? I don't give a fuck what they say, how hard they portray. That's trauma, right? So we have a lot of trauma that we deal with, and it displays itself in several different ways. And I'm getting really good, y'all, at seeing it coming and being like, nope, that's just my people on their bullshit. I'm not gonna jump to be like, you stupid, what the fuck you talking about? No, it's the internet. Everybody has fingers and phones. Say what you want to say, but it is revealing about how people think about stuff. And that's how I'll be like, okay, this is how I got to come at them. Because once we decide to unify in a particular way, nothing's going to stop us in this country. It's way more Caucasian people, but if we come together, we'll be more effective. This is my opinion. That we African, they still in our shit now. We 13% of the population, 100% of the swag. That's not by accident. That's not by mistake. And we got stolen ass last names in rummage through history, in gruesome ass, you know what I mean? Think about our history, and we still coming up with dances making hella money. Pretty good, right? With no reparations, no goddamn help, no home country, no this, no that. You see what I'm saying? So we great, y'all, and y'all need to keep that in your mind. Tell that to your kids. Make sure your kids know they like king. Like, people be giving people shit for saying king and queen. Oh, you a king and you a queen. Now, what, does nigga sound better? Does it? It's a affirmation. It's a I want you to be there. That's how I see you. Let's get back to that. You know what I mean? Of that way of thinking, that way of loving, that way of, you see what I'm saying? Like, the shit sound corny, but what we gonna do? Just get old and die and don't change nothing? That's not really how this thing supposed to move. You know what I mean? Because if you do your job right, you don't really die. Did you know that? I say it again. If you do your job right here on earth, you never really. Is Tupac dead? Like, let's look at it. Step back for a minute. Like, I'm critical of certain things, but hear me out. When you do things a certain way in your physical life, your actions precede you. And yes, physically you won't be there, but your actions and your imprint will be left on the world in somewhere. So a couple years ago, that hit me like, that's how this supposed to end. Because you can say I'm going to heaven, I'm going to the pearly gates. I don't know where I'm going. So while I'm here, you feel me? So I don't know. I don't get into the spookiness. I don't know for sure. None of us know. So while I'm here, I'm gonna make this heaven on earth, and I'm gonna leave it all on the court like I used to do when I hooped. Because what else are we supposed to do? You see what I'm saying? And that's in your personal life. That's what your relationship. That's in your community serving. Like, too many of us get lazy and get just stuck into like a transition in life where you're not really trying hard nowhere. You just going, life is kind of living you. You're not living life. You ever met somebody like that? Life is just pushing them around. Whatever life they do. Oh, gotta get a flat tire. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Life's just pushing you around. Have you ever felt like that? That's your fault, family. That's your fault, family. You got to start being assertive. You got to start knowing. You got to start wanting something. You got to start working harder. See, shit. People want shit, but don't want to work for it. It sounds cliche, but it's so goddamn true. Like this, what I do, I love sitting in front of you guys and talking, but the amount of shit I do behind the damn cameras is insane. But it hit me. Wait a minute. Does this shit supposed to be like pleasurable all the time? No, this is a lot of fucking this is a lot of lonely work. Like I be by myself. No, nobody's around cheering me on. You see what I'm saying? So it got to come from within. So that's why you got to find whatever that is. Some of us have found jobs, and I'm sorry I'm rambling, fam, but I gotta, when I'm going. Some of us have jobs, and that's the dream job. Like you went to school, that's what you wanted to do when you was a kid. That's beautiful. Some people have that. Most people don't. Right? So what that means is work your job, get your money, try to make it something that's pleasurable, but on your free time, do something that pleases you. I'm not talking about being a parent. I'm not talking about being a good parent. Yeah, that's good. Be a parent. That's kind of goes without saying. But what's going to happen is if you spend your kid's full childhood just working and taking care of them, not thinking about what do I like doing? I want to knit a sweater. God damn it. I want to fish. I want to ride a bike cross country. I want to start a cookie business. This is anything, right? You'll find yourself, your kid's about to go to college, and you go the whole empty nest thing. Empty nest is I don't do shit for myself. The kids are gone. You see what I'm saying? You got to create something for yourself, family. How many people do you know hate their job? Let's talk about it real quick. How many people do you know? And this is real shit. You at work and it's 3:30. You should be and you get off at 5. In actuality, you should be so enamored by your work that 5 o'clock just comes. Bam. Wait, what time is it? Goddamn, it's 5 already? If you like 3:30, goddamn, I can't wait till 5. For the most part, not in absolutes, but for the most part, you may not like your job. And if you don't like your job, I was listening to something and reading something that kind of fucked me up. We understand how 8 hours a day, that's a long time to take away from your family, right? That's a long time to take away from other things you could be doing, right? And some people will take the mentality, well, that's why I'm a do a business or do something else, or some young street dude be like, that's why I ain't working, because I ain't taking that actual time, because time is the only commodity we can't get back, family. Let's keep it real. You see what I'm saying? But how this book I was reading put it, if you do got to put in that time, you can't waste it. See, I'm a person who knows how to work hard, but because I didn't have like a passion at the time, I would work jobs and I'm just working them. I'm just taking care of my kids, working them. I don't give a fuck about your product like that. I mean, I don't care. Yeah, thanks for calling Bold Spark. I don't give a shit. You see what I'm saying? And I was reading this book and I'm like, oh, I had that wrong. See, I had that wrong. Like there's you, like really, we should be maximizing everything. That was a lazy move on my part. I thought it was, well, a piece of it was something I didn't want to do. Like it's something I'm not passionate about, but that's cool. You should just be passionate about being successful. You should just be whatever endeavor it is. You see what I'm saying? So I had to realize, oh, I was kind of being lazy. I was kind of being non-productive in a way. You see what I'm saying? So that's this life thing is serious, family. And I come at it from a melanated perspective because y'all my people, but everybody going through the same thing. We just got it worse when it comes to certain things. You see what I'm saying? So I don't run around yelling racism to people, but I'm quick to let you know it exists. You can do both. Like I always go back and forth with one of my homeboys. He'd be like, we ain't victims. I say, well, that's your pride, homeboy. I have been victimized. My ancestors have been victimized. Some of my brothers, Trayvon Martin, that's my brother. Like my brother, that's how I see it. We all in one black family. That's traumatizing. That's victimizing. He was a victim. Yes, he was a victim. But your pride to tell you, I ain't no goddamn, I can be whatever I want to be. I mean, okay. like, like, what does that even mean? We've seen the richest, most powerful black men. If they want you, they want you. I mean, what you gonna do, right? You see what I'm saying? So none of that shit really matters at the end of the day. That's why I'm gonna be unapologetic who I am, because what else do I got? I'm not gonna be scared to speak because I'm willing to have a conversation. See, I'm never gonna come on here and talk about a person, an organization, anything that if once I see this person or get to talk to this organ, the energy is gonna be the exact same because it was out of love in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Now, early on doing this, what I do now, like I initially started writing articles and interviewing fathers because of my fatherhood experience. So my platform has taken like an evolution. You know what I mean? But in the beginning of what I did, like the beginning of starting all of this, I used to be like hell on certain things. Like I used to be, my style was a little bit different. Like if coons, when I finally learned all about history and how, if you guys don't know, like coons, a black man or woman who feels like they deserve a better seat at the table, so they speak negatively about us, that's actually gotten millions of black people killed throughout history. So it enraged me. You know what I mean? So I see it, Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Any black man, I think, portraying himself in a particular way, it would enrage me. I've learned now to approach it a little bit different because everybody is watching. See, so I got to be on code. If I'm a talk out loud to everybody, anybody can be watching it. Our oppressors could be watching. People we don't fuck with ain't watching. No, this is my brother. I'm a speak about it and speak my truth. But if I'm really upset, I would wait till I saw you and in private and give it to you that way, then go back out in public and be a united front. Like that's the mature way to go about it. I know when we look online and conscious people online, they approach it from a particular way, but I've learned this over time. Like I'm like, oh, all right, excuse me. How can I be the most effective to everybody around me? To everybody around me. Half-breed black people who talk shit about black people who come from the Caribbean or other places, black people who ain't never really been around black people. There's so many different kinds of melanated people. And I'm like, okay, I have to appreciate, I'm not going to accept no disrespect. I'm not going to accept no untruths either, but I'm going to be cordial. I'm going to be loving, because once we get past the loving part, that's why I approach it with love. Because if we got to go the other way, I'm going to be comfortable over there because I tried to love you first. You know what I mean? See, this is where our young brothers need to get to. See, think about the young men, some of the young men who kill each other. What I always tell people, this is actually the warrior class of melanated people. These are the men who don't mind being violent, right? Ex-army dudes in the street. Like there's a value there if used correctly. They just killing us, right? Like I understand the inceptions of gangs and how it all got started, but ultimately I don't respect it no more. Ultimately, like not individuals, but just as a conglomerate, I don't really expect it. I mean, I don't really respect it because my shit is all about us. Like I'm black first. So boom, unarmed cop. And I'm not advocating violence or anyone getting hurt. Right. But if you would kill a black man for stepping on your shoe or for taking $100 or for coming on the street that you don't even fucking own, well, what would you do to a black man who killed a 12-year-old black boy? Right. Think about it. Think about if you was mad about that. That shit would stop. Wouldn't it stop if we had a whole crew of niggas running around the country knocking everybody off? Wouldn't that stop? Because what people don't realize, what nobody wants to say, when a kid gets killed and the city hears they're going to march tomorrow, they be like, whew, all right, yeah, come on, march. Let's set it up for you. Let's go through the routine. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but put the cones out. Thought these niggas was going to start shooting because that's what we would do if you just killed one of ours. See what I'm saying? Them white folks thought, hey, them white folks was like, y'all stole this election. We just gonna go up to the Capitol. We just gonna, you know what I mean? We just gonna run up in there, see what they doing up in there and shit. You know what I mean? Think about the different mentalities. Think about the different mentalities. We know y'all voted in the wrong guy. Let's go up there. Where? The Capitol, nigga? The actual Capitol? The goal. But you got to think about the country we in. You see what I'm saying? In the different now, because people always would say this, but this is the truth. We run up to that Capitol, it's gunshot. It's all types of gunshots, and them saying, well, all the niggas had guns. Y'all didn't see it. Everybody had spears and guns and rubber boots. Like they would have made up something. It would have been a grass full of dead melanated people. You know what I mean? So we see the differences. So you should see how this country treats us and what goes on and internalize it in a way that makes you want to help. You feel me, family? This is your brother Harrison. Melanated, this is an hour and 9 minutes, man. But I gotta wake y'all up, man. We gotta wake up our kids, man. We seeing these young dudes kill each other, all this kind of, what the fuck we gonna do about it? I just told you your president said, fuck your nigger life. I don't care if a cop kills you. I'm gonna give them 30 billion just to make sure they get you next time. See? So we don't really have any allies like that. You know what I mean? So it got to be us. It got to be a thing between us where we look at each other and say, boom, I can be into anything. I don't care if a woman's a stripper, little street dude, work at McDonald's, goddamn, fuck your profession. You gay, trans, whatever, pick your goddamn pronoun. You gonna ride, they coming, you gonna shoot, they coming, you with us? We'll talk about all the other shit later. I don't care what you do in the bed. Take this gun. You know what I mean? So we all got to get to that point. You're a rapper, you're a goddamn athlete. I don't care. Look, is your bottom line loving us like mine is? Let's go. You see what I'm saying? Unification is actually simple. It just got to be with love, like remove the hate out of your heart. Seeing somebody be successful, like if you see people, like Instagram in the world shows us people, right? And they look glamorous and they look this and they look that. Do you know that none of that really matters in your life? Like, do you look at people and you're like, ooh, that's you're measuring. Ooh, damn, I should be there. I used to know him, or I want that car, or that motherfucker don't deserve that. That's all destructive mentalities and behaviors. You feel me? You're actually in a race on your own. There's just one you. Like simple. It's a simple concept. It's only one you. Last name, first name, your history, what you've been through. It's only one you. So you should be racing against you from last year. How was you from last year doing? Race that nigga. Don't race goddamn a millionaire who could be suicidal. You know what I mean? You don't know. You don't know he can cut off the cameras and cry every night. Who knows? So it's not about measuring. It's about being authentically you. And for us, a part of being authentically you should be authentically black, whatever word you want to use to describe your greatness, use it. We just got to use it out in the world. You feel me? This is your brother Harrison, man. Melanated Convo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Melanated Convo. This show and most of the things I do is on the digital platforms as well. Spotify, Overcast, Google Podcasts, all these places. Melanated Convo, melanatedconvo.com is up now. So if you want to listen to the show that way, ain't no reason you shouldn't be rocking with your boy. Tell your mama and them. You know what I mean? I know they be saying I cuss a lot, but we had war, goddammit. And scientifically, smart people actually use profanity. Look that up. But I'm free. You see what I'm saying? I'm actually what they would call a free Negro. You know what I mean? So, so I say what the fuck I want to say. This is your brother, man, Harrison. Melanated Convo. Good conversation.